update on the silky and green queens. I'll post a video with candling the eggs to show how you can see the chicks developing at day 7. Silky eggs were easy to look in there and see whether or not they were fertile. The green queen ones, not so much. We'll have to wait until probably day 14 to be able to determine whether or not those eggs are fertilized. And that's mostly because of the egg color. As you can see, the green queen eggs are a lot darker color. They're like a dark green, whereas the silky eggs are a lighter, very light tan. They're kind of like a porcelain eggshell. And they were much easier to see inside when candling. When we incubate, we keep our incubator temperature about 100 degrees. See how it's set at 100 degrees? It will fluctuate some. The humidity I keep between 50 and 55%. It's currently increasing. It was lower because I opened the incubator a couple times to get eggs out and put them back in. But that's normal for it to fluctuate some, especially when opening and closing it. But all 8 silky eggs that are fertilized are still in the incubator. There was one silky egg I had to remove because it was clearly not developing. I still have the 3 green queen eggs in there, so we are down 1 egg. So it went from 12 eggs to 11 eggs. Let's see how our hatch rate is. Hopefully we'll have a good hatch rate and the eggs will continue to develop. We'll recheck them on day either 10 or 14, probably 14, just to see if the green queen eggs are developing at all, and that will determine whether or not I have to toss any of those eggs, and to make sure that the continuing development of the silky eggs is normal. If they do not continue to develop and grow, or if you can see clearly where the chick has died, that's another time to toss eggs. Hopefully we don't have that happen, but it does. It's a part of nature, unfortunately. Things sometimes don't always progress as we like. Sometimes it has to do with genetics. Sometimes it just has to do with the way it's developing in the egg. Sometimes it has to do with incubator temperatures and humidity. There's a lot of different factors that play into it, but it's pretty common to not have all of your chicks make it to hatch day. And even once they do make it to hatch day, that doesn't mean that they will successfully hatch. They still may die. It's one of the final challenges when it comes to them growing up and becoming an actual chick, is they have to be able to not only make it through being fertile and also growing to being old enough to hatch, but they have to actually break free of the shell. Now, sometimes you can assist and have a chick that will survive, but oftentimes if you help, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with doing that, as far as like the blood supply and stuff to the chick, because them breaking free of the shell is part of what helps stop that blood from circulating through the part that helps nourish them to their body. And you can actually kill them by disrupting that blood flow supply, because they actually bleed out. There's a lot of other things that happen, such as the yolk absorption during the hatching and shortly after hatching. And the hatching process helps the chick do that. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge for the chicks, and they don't always survive that process. But we'll wait and see. A good hatch rate is 84% or higher. I typically range anywhere from 85 to 100% hatch rate of fertile eggs, but nothing's guaranteed.